Funhaus is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Keep your location private from strangers you game with online at expressvpn.com/funhouse. Last of Us leaks, and we're all starting to sweat, but I've always heard that the best way to cool down is to drink something hot. So sit back, relax, and slurp up this bowl of dude soup. It's perfect.
Drink something hot?
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's
You're supposed to drink something hot.
Yeah, in hot countries they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
You're
tell you.
telling me
for
I'm
a
supposed to drink hot cocoa when it's 95 degrees outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That's what like pho and all that stuff is made. Those are very, very warm countries. In Africa, Elise is shouting from off camera. They drink the bush tea.
She's talking about something else.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you supposed to drink cold stuff in cold weather then? Are you supposed to eat ice cream when it's snowing outside?
No, it's because you're supposed to make yourself perspirate. People drink cold stuff, but that's not the natural way that the body cools itself. The body naturally cools itself by perspirating. That's the most efficient way to cool yourself. So what you try and do is you drink something hot that causes your body to feel like, oh, it's really hot. We need to start activating our sweat glands to do that. And then from what I've observed, you roll up your shirt like this,
Okay.
to like here, and then you slurp your soup, right? You slurp your soup, and then you start to sweat on your belly, and then the air whisks the sweat away, and then you get.
I'm supposed to spit hot soup onto my belly?
No, don't spit it. Listen, before we get off track, let me just really quick shout out our sponsors for today. We got Stitch Fix, Mint Mobile, and Old Spice. Get started today at stitchfix.com/dudesoup, and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's the whole shebang, the whole box. To get a new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/dude. Why pay more than what you need to for your wireless plan? And try Old Spice Pomade, Old Spice Putty, or Old Spice Styling Gel. Let us know the hold that works best for you. Look at this. How was my hold, guys?
You got a good hold.
Looking good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I thought that was a helmet. It's looking great on you.
It's good, and it's a good natural hold, too. That's the best thing about it. You don't want to look like you're wearing a toupee. I would like to also now welcome my guests to the show. First off, we got Adam Kovic.
Yo, what up?
We got Omar de Armas
Yo.
and John Smith.
Well, hello there.
We got nice. We got a little boys brew today. We're brewing boys since the cool thing to
Boys
do
do.
is I think it is actually a
Consomme.
it's a satirical rejection of diversity. Is that like a new thing to do in the last couple of years? Is to be like just boys, it's just us boys. But except the people that are doing it are mocking those who are like actually just boys because it's more interesting when you have different points of view.
I was raised by
Sounds
two women,
cool.
so just boy sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah. I also would like to especially shout out everyone watching live on roosterteeth.com, on RTTV. Thank you guys for watching us. Please, please, please join us in the chat. We do this every single week. It's fun. We got lots of other live streams. We like to do the interactivity thing. And so please sign up. Membership is free. Join us in the chat. And a special thank you to first members. Oh, good timing on that lower there. Thank you to first members. You guys keep the engine running, and we really appreciate the support. And yeah, thank you for being a part of the conversation. Also, one last bit of business, and then I swear we can talk about something really depressing. Last Laugh. Funhaus presents Last Laugh. I don't know what Funhaus presents means other than Elise was like, we should do this.
And she said, if you take one more thing away from me, I'm walking and I'm burning the building down. You watch. So.
But no, Funhaus presents Last Laugh. It is a psychological comedy. A lot of people are describing it as cringe. That is by design. Challenge show where 12 Rooster Teeth personalities across Achievement Hunter, RT Core, and Funhaus are locked in a room together for 6 hours and can't laugh, but they also have to try and make everyone else in the room laugh because only one person can remain, or one person can be the winner once it's all said and done. So it's a psychological weird competition show. Adam, myself, and John are competitors on the show.
I was gonna say all three of you are competitors on the
yeah.
Three
show.
of us are, as well
Man.
as Elise. But yeah, it's 4 people from each group. It's a lot of fun. It's weird. It's weird. You've probably seen things like it out there, but this one, it definitely is our spin, our weird spin on it.
Has like a Schindler's List
it
vibe
was-
to it.
Yeah. It was very mentally taxing and exhausting. A lot of people afterwards described it as psychological torture.
I've been
People who are
watching it
participating.
and finding myself reacting the same way I did in the room, which is with this defensive, high eyebrows, low frown kind of thing. And then Elise will be like, "What'd you think of that episode?" I was like, "Oh, it was really good." She's like, "Cause you look like you were not laughing."
You have the richest PTSD
Don't think I
stress the whole
can.
time.
I see that room and I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pops something.
stressful.
It definitely pops something in our brains where we're like, some things aren't funny anymore. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a-
Not
yeah, it's like
allowed
getting
to be
a,
funny.
It's like getting a lobotomy, but for your laughter.
Yeah. But you
Isn't
can
that
watch
what
the
a
first
lobotomy is for?
episode for laughter.
I mean, it's
Isn't
for
it-
everything, man.
It's for
I-
emotions, right?
well, it's when women be crazy. I'm just saying.
If you could,
That was the
no
doctor's
one-
pitch in 1922 or whatever. He's like,
It
don't you
was
hate it when
pure
your wife
hysteria.
nags? Yeah. It was. I think that was the invention of the dildo and breaking a piece of the
yeah.
skull and ripping out the
I was
brain.
going to say, speaking of boys' clubs, there was a point in time where they're like, we if we could settle women down, we got to either break their brain or we got to masturbate them. Those are the only 2 things.
Just shock the inside.
Break their brain or break their hymen. Thank you, Elise. Shouting from Elise is the off-camera shouting from off-camera. She's an unofficial guest of this episode. No, yeah, I yearn for the days when we would either solve problems with a dildo or an ice pick.
I still solve most of my problems with a dildo, so.
Fair, fair. What's your bed sheet there, John?
Oh, my friend Liam directed a commercial for Society 6.
Okay.
Look, I can spread it out.
All right, we'll all describe it.
So-
So we can see John's bed behind him. It appears to be just maybe a twin. That's a toddler-sized bed.
It's
It is a
twin.
small bed.
I had a king. I had a 1-bedroom apartment, lived alone. I had a king. It took up my whole room, and it was fine. But then now living with someone, my king literally took up my entire room, and I was like, I want room in my room.
You downsized starring Matt Damon, and I appreciate that about you.
I probably downsized too far. Could have gone to a full, but I just went to
gonna
a
say,
twin because
if-
what I do is I flip it up, and then I have my whole room for VR.
Do you really?
Prioritize.
Yeah.
If we pan the camera a little to the left, is Connor and another twin bed on the other side of the room.
No, there's
like
a
your
giant
college room.
pile of stuff, like right along the edge right here.
Okay, where's the poster
kinda how-
of the 2 girls kissing in black and white?
Oh, all over.
That's kind of how Elise and I are doing it too, because the framing is so tight. We don't have these. We have a 1-bedroom and we're in our kitchen. That's where our office is now, is in our kitchen. So if you see Elise's angle for her video, you can see basically our entire living room and Benson's food bowl. And for me, if I just go, I'm gonna tilt my camera just slightly, just a little bit. It's oh, there's our trash can, and our microwave, and a toaster oven, on a.
Usually I can
Don't-
block
don't
out my
ruin the
trash
mystique.
can with my body because it's
Yeah.
right behind me. If I move to the side.
Yeah, there it is. That's the
Trash
same thing.
can-
We have the same thing. We have this small little metal
Yeah.
rack to put our stuff on.
That's called
Yeah, I
the
have-
Omar from IKEA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Under my blanket on the side of my bed is a bunch of snacks.
I realize. I mean, this is known in the world, but you know how IKEA furniture is trash, but it's cheap, and that's why you buy it. Well,
I don't know that it's trash.
Well, they do the
this is-
Starbucks model where there's the super high end stuff, the super shitty stuff, and then most people pay for the middle tier.
So this is my story of why it's trash. So when Jess and I moved, we had shelves when we're in our 1-bedroom apartment, and we had the lack floating shelf, right? And so when we moved, I took it all apart. But in doing so, everything got stripped and fucked. And so, so last night I was like, oh wait, we got room in our kitchen. Let's hang this thing up. But all the screws are stripped, and it just everything. It's like that stuff is not meant to be reused. We had a bed that we moved
it's
to
not
3 different
movable
places.
furniture at all.
Yeah, by the time we did our third move, the thing was always shaking, and I was like, I don't think IKEA likes being taken apart.
Oh no. That's why everything ends with like a locking mechanism.
Yeah.
It's like it should have a thing. It said like when you're about to overwrite a save file, it's like, are you sure? Yes, and then you can lock.
Well, then I was looking online. I was like, well, okay, I'll just buy replacement screws. It shouldn't be too complicated. Go on eBay. It's $10 for 2 screws. And I
cheaper to buy a whole new bed or whatever.
Yeah, I think if you go to IKEA, you can just ask for it and they'll give you the parts. They have a whole like wall of all of those little parts that you can just take from.
Now, John,
you got to drive there.
I was gonna say, had I gotten to this 3 years ago when we first moved in here, yes, I could have done that. But with the right now I have to pay some dude on eBay for screws. I'm not going to.
We're truly living our best lives, that's for sure. So it sounds like everyone's doing pretty good, huh? Everyone's surviving?
Yeah, surviving for the most part. I feel like every week it feels like things are getting better, and then there's like a new thing on a Monday or whatever that's just like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah.
And it resets my chill meter gets reset to be stress, and then it slowly goes down for the rest of the week.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, last week was pretty bad. Thinking about it, I'm like, last week was pretty bad in terms of like just shit that was coming up and like the hours and stuff. But I'm hoping that this week is gonna go a little. So far, this week looks like it's gonna go a little smoother. And I know Elise has scheduled some recordings that I'm excited to do. There's some fun stuff. We have a fun thing happening on Friday, which I'm excited for.
I'm very excited for that.
Oh yeah.
What? That's what I am. I'm going to talk about it more at the end, but I'm not going to give too much away because I don't even know. I just know that if you're watching RTTV right now, you probably want to tune in on Friday.
I played a round of Valorant, and that was enough. I was like, I get it. I get what this is.
Were you not? Did you not like it?
I think it's fine. Well, it's a much longer story. I won't get into the details, but I could only play it basically on like a second monitor on mute, so it wasn't the most comfortable situation. But I was like, oh, I got into the beta, so I wanted to play it, and then I was like, okay, it's CS:GO basically with some sort of like Overwatch powers, but the rounds are so long. Why was it so long? I don't know. It just.
What do you mean?
You're too
Probably
good.
people weren't being aggressive enough.
Yeah.
Oh no! We kept winning. Like we won like 12 rounds in a row.
It's like best of.
Because it's best out of 25. It's ridiculous.
Is that how CS:GO is?
Yeah, CS:GO like the pro
long?
matches are best out of 25. But I mean that's only when you're playing like ranked. When you're playing unranked, it's much less.
I think I just hit quick play because I'm at that like. I do that thing where if I play Overwatch, I have to play quick play or something like that. Because if I go into competitive, my heart starts pounding and everything's on the line. But Valorant's so new that I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. I just hit go and just completely. I didn't know what I was doing. It's just like just point the gun and shoot. I don't know if you guys got to play it, but I want to play with you guys.
Yeah.
Is the beta?
I've watched some
we're
streamers
planning
play
to.
it.
Beta
Looks
is
pretty fun.
You have to be approved, I think, Omar. I'm not sure.
Right, but
Yeah.
is it still? It's still running though, right? Like it's not it's not a beta weekend and now it's over or something.
No, I think it's
I
like
think it's
play
going
until
for
it comes
good
out.
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
But,
Yeah.
I played a bunch of that Demon Machina game that we did a gameplay of that still hasn't
I
been
saw.
a thing.
I logged in. I think I logged into Discord or something this weekend, and it said Omar was online in Discord. All Discord wants to do, despite having the streamer mode or whatever, is reveal your private information.
Yeah.
And so it's like Omar is on, and he's playing Damon Cross Machina, which is a gameplay
What
that
is
we
that?
recorded. It's a gameplay we recorded like right before the end times began.
Yeah.
Because it looked pretty cool. It's like a mech fighter, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is kind of like an EDF thing. But it was like way more intricate, but also kind of stupider. But it was very, very Japanese, and we just like kind of it was Elise, Adam, Omar, and I all played it.
It's really
And
complicated.
I thought it was fun.
It is
no
complicated as
reason.
shit.
It's real complicated. But then I saw Omar was playing, and I was like, maybe there's something wrong with our recording, and you're trying to replace footage, but you're playing it for fun.
Okay, so I was doing I have that stream block on Sundays that I play with Jacob and stuff, and we were playing that game, and of course Jacob has put in who knows how many hours into the PC one that came out like a month ago. He's already like leveled everything up and's got all the shit. He beat the game like
How?
In Damon
In
Cross
Demon-
Machina?
yeah. In
What?
Damon, yeah. So I think a while, like right after we did the gameplay, I went to Jacob. I was like, "Hey, dude, this game's like EDF because we played EDF together." And he's like, "Oh, it's kind of like EDF. We should maybe check it out." And he's like, "Oh yeah, cool." I played it on Switch. I didn't know it was on PC. So he's already done all kinds of shit on the PC version too. But yeah, we were
I
playing.
don't
He
understand.
was dragging me through all this stuff, and the game is fun as shit, but it is complicated.
It's got
And
great reviews.
I had my Sherpa, so
Yeah.
that's the only reason I was having fun. Probably.
okay.
How does he do this? How does he do this? Jacob, just in case anyone doesn't know, is one of our producer editors, but he lives in a time warp, a time chamber that bends time to whatever suits him. Though I will say that I think since the work from home stuff, something is starting to wear, because you used to see Jacob and he'd be chipper. And he's like, "Hey guys." Like, Jacob,
Yeah.
I noticed you played 53 hours of Final Fantasy this weekend. He's like, "Well, I didn't have a lot going on." I was like, "Okay, but that's more hours than there are in a weekend." He's like, "Well, what can you do?" So like either he's not sleeping, he's not eating, he's not shitting, he's not doing any of these things. But he would always be fine. In the office, he'd just be like, "Yeah, that's my life. What can I say? I got 30 hours in a day."
I mean, I guess we were his balance, right? We were like, he's like, well,
were the
gotta
Yeah,
go
leaders.
to
he
work.
was forced to leave his house and go into work.
He's-
But now that's
he's
not
now-
the case
he's
anymore.
now-
he's editing and he's playing with his feet. He's raiding on Destiny.
Because like he does look like he is a little bit more tired than he has been, a little bit more
I gotta get him on a schedule.
burnt out. His time soul or whatever is being ripped out of his body.
Well, now is when he's
poor
paying it
Jake.
all back, right? Because he was banking all kinds of crazy hours before, and now he's paying it back, and he's just too wasted.
I just want to know how it's possible. We did an Animal Crossing gameplay. We actually have another one coming out pretty soon where we did island tours of everybody's stuff. And Jacob showed off his island, which of course he somehow managed to log 300 hours of the game within a week of it coming out. And John did the math once and it was absurd, but how much he would have had to play per day.
It was when we shot the first one, everyone posted their hours. And I counted because he and I got it early. We got it 2 days early. And it was 6 hours a day, what it worked out to. Because the amount of hours he had versus how many days the game had been out, it was 6 hours a day.
I think
so-
we have there is a magician's trick being played upon us. There are two Jacobs. I
I think there is. Yeah, there must be.
Like
A
Prestige.
prestige. Yeah.
I didn't want to say the fucking. Yes, the magic trick known as the prestige. He goes, the Kaiser Sose. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know, but anyway, so we did this thing, and then the video went up, and I was looking at some of the comments, video, and people seem to really like it, which is cool. But someone was like, "How did Jacob do that with his island?" And then there was a comment below it that was like, "That's what you can do when you're time skipping." And I was like,
He did not time skip.
not-
He's
not time skipping.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't cheat.
He's just crazy.
I actually, because I had this idea of how I wanted to make my island for the second one that we shot. And I was like, well, because you have to wait a day when you move a building. And so literally there weren't enough days for me to accomplish it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to time skip, but solely so that I can get this done before before the gameplay is shot. So it wasn't for profit. It wasn't for anything. It was solely just for the video. And so for like a whole week, I was time traveling and doing all this stuff to get there. And then after we shot the gameplay, I haven't played since because it just,
You did all the things already.
it broke it for me because that whole daily cycle, if you go in and there's only so much you can do in the day, the game is supposed supposed to be played at that pace. So once I broke it, it's like it ruined the magic for me.
It is Nintendo sometimes will have these weird shackles on the games that they make, and you're like, why did they do it this way? But then ultimately, like when you top down look at the game design, it's like, oh well, because they figured out the peaceful feng shui of the most appropriate way for that to take place.
Well, it was like
Yeah.
the
So
Wii, right?
I
When
just-
it was like,
yeah.
hey, maybe go outside once in a while. You're like, fuck you, Wii.
Yeah, what are you telling me to do?
I bought you so I don't have to go outside, and my mom still saw me exercise. And then when I threw the remote at the TV.
Yeah, I just think you have to have your life in a super efficient place to be able to play Animal Crossing 6 hours a day, work 8 hours a day, and then have a girlfriend and sleep. Like the math only works out if you're living very efficiently. So I'm not going to say he's using it, but it would behoove Jacob, if he isn't, to try out Stitch Fix. In the world of clothes shopping, there are no consistent sizes. Trust me. As someone with a very strange body shape, it doesn't always mean that a medium is a medium. And it can be really frustrating because when you think you found something you like, you try and find something else that you like, and then you try it on and it doesn't fit at all. And considering so much is done with online shopping these days, it can get to be a real hassle. So I like to make sure that when I'm buying clothes online, I know that they're going to fit perfectly, and that's why there's Stitch Fix, a personal styling company that makes getting the clothes you love effortless. It's a completely different way to shop that's tailored for you, which is an intended pun. I was reading their script for that section, but I acknowledged that the pun was there, and the script even says that the pun is there. So it's like it's a perfect fit. The comedy stylings of this is a perfect fit, just like the clothes are going to be a perfect fit for you. To get started, what you got to do is you got to go to stitchfix.com/dudesoup. You set up your profile, then they'll deliver you great looks, which are personalized for you. It's in your colors, styles, and budget. When I did it, you basically answer a bunch of questions, and it kind of gives the stylist an idea what you're into, what you like to see on yourself. But the best thing about it is all of that's factored in to something that you may not have thought that you would have enjoyed in the first place. So you'll pay a $20 styling fee for each fix, but that's credited towards anything you keep. So say you buy something that's $21, you don't pay the styling fee. Say you buy something that's $20.50, styling fee is included in all of that. And so it basically pays for itself as soon as you get something out of your Stitch Fix box. There is no subscription required, so you kind of only call upon the service and the stylist when you feel like you need to liven up your clothes and liven up your wardrobe. Shipping, returns, and exchanges are easy and free. Stitch Fix does all the hard work for you, making great style effortless for everybody, including men, women, and kids. Everything's going to fit great. And if it doesn't, you send it back. You find something else you like. It's a great way to discover new clothes, discover new styles. You're really going to appreciate it. And you can get started today at stitchfix.com/dudesoup. And you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's everything that they send you in your box. You're going to want to keep it anyway. So why not get an extra 25% off? That's stitchfix.com/dudesoup for 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. stitchfix.com/dudesoup. So thank you, Stitch Fix, and thank you, Jacob. Okay, I have enough about our own BS. I have an actual news story that I would like to get your guys' kind of perspectives on. We're not trying to. I know it's a deeper issue, but the main thing is I'm sure you guys heard Last of Us 2 leaked, right? Basically, someone who was reportedly part of the dev team, I guess, leaked the whole game. And with a game like Last of Us 2, I have not explored any of the leaks.
Yeah.
I did not explore any of the leaks. I do not want to see any of the leaks, but I will discuss
Yeah.
the leaks.
Do you know what the
Yeah,
leaks
yeah.
are?
I-
Is the leaks just the story or like the actual game
I
got
think
leaked?
someone leaked. Okay, so here's what I got from Polygon. Over the weekend in late April, a series. That's such a weird. Why is it so over the weekend?
Because they needed more
specific?
words.
In late April,
It's
So
10
if you're
cents-
reading
it's 10
it,
cents a
if you're
letter.
reading it
I
in
mean,
November, if you're reading it in November, you'll be like, in April. Oh, okay, I know this is from April. But then over the weekend, it goes, well, I don't need that. Anyway, a series of YouTube videos were uploaded that contained what appeared to be clips of Naughty Dog's highly anticipated sequel, The Last of Us Part 2. While the original videos have since been taken down various gaming forums and social media, re-uploads have survived, alleging to show the gruesome action game story in full. So it looks like someone just like posted a Let's Play or a cinemas or whatever. Again,
All the
I didn't
cutscenes
want to
or
do the
something.
research. All the cutscenes and stuff, which, you know, a lot of the game is plot. And so I know a lot of people are playing it for that reason. Kind of spoils it. My first reaction is I feel like there's only so many games that this can affect, right? Like, I know I am on record as saying I didn't think Last of Us 1 was as great as everyone thought it was as a game. I enjoyed it, but I felt like my playing it got in the way of me enjoying it in a lot of cases. And I had also just played The Walking Dead, Telltale's The Walking Dead, which hit all of like the same notes in a lot of ways. So I was like, I just saw this story. Doesn't matter. Like two completely separate properties. But it's weird because if this happened with Super Mario Odyssey, someone posted all the cutscenes from Super Mario Odyssey.
Bowser's
Like-
in a tuxedo.
Well,
Like,
this
there's a
this
wedding,
this
like-
kind of happened with Halo 2 back in the day. Someone stole it from like it sounds funny, a French press. It was like a French disc publishing warehouse, and they had the English version on it. But there's a big twist in that game that does kind of spoil things. And
oh yeah.
I remember people were posting the ending. I'm like, that's not the ending. And I remember got to the ending and went, well, what the fuck? Yeah. But like, yeah, that's a game not recent memory. That was from 25 years ago. So,
Well, but I'm
not apples
just
to
saying it. I'm just saying it as a funny example. You know, like there are so many games where this would not matter. I'm not downplaying the fact that it does matter in this case because I do think it does, and it's one of the types of games that this does matter.
well, the guy was trying to make, or I assume it's a guy. Sorry, the person was trying to make a statement, right? By uploading it all, it was an unpaid
Yeah.
I feel like
Q&A tester.
There's like two things, right, to talk about. There's like whether or not leaking the game or spoiling the game is a bummer, but like also the conditions that led to that person wanting to spoil the game, right? To like kind
Yeah.
of fuck over the
What
Big Daddy
happened?
and Naughty Dog.
Reportedly, a lot like this was a vindictive act,
Retaliation,
right? Like,
yeah.
a retaliation that was the problem is I was like, oh, I'm going to read into some, and then I would always get to the point in the article, and they're like, this is where this. I'm like, no, just tell me about what the story. I don't.
See,
don't tell
James,
me about the game.
it was the weekend in April.
Yeah, and
There was
and
a sun.
God forbid you go to like any sort of forum or read comments to try and get more understanding of the actual story of the leak, not necessarily the story of the game, because everyone's just going crazy spoiling it. But it does sound like, yeah, it was a retaliation from someone who felt like they were, taken advantage of as part of the dev team.
Yeah, I had read that people were upset because they weren't being compensated for overtime or something. So like they were crunching on the game, weren't being compensated. They've been trying to unionize the whole thing for a while and not having a lot of success. So this was like a retaliation for that like lack of compensation from the company, was just to leak the whole
Interesting.
thing.
Man.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, and then Naughty
Very
Dog. Well, I know
interesting.
Naughty Dog put out a statement, and that was one of the things they didn't address. Though Twitter's probably not the place to address that. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess in recent year or so, there was the story that came out about the crunch at Rockstar for the Red Dead thing, and apparently that, from what I heard, it improved conditions over there. I maybe the person's actions were pure, but I'm sure it upset a lot of people. Not just the dev team, obviously fans.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the working conditions of Rockstar, but I know broadly about the working conditions of the video game industry. And so when you say that if you come out and you're like, we're getting boned, we're not getting paid for the time we're working, and we're already underpaid for what's being asked of us, and we're not allowed to protect ourselves financially and, you know, unionize or those types of things. I was like, okay, it's probably true. Like, I don't know that there's that, like, I don't know, that's just the state of the industry, right? Which is hopefully a bigger change that needs to happen. I don't know about, it seems this wouldn't be my first thought of, like, if I was pissed off at a company, would be like, I'm going to take something that a lot of people worked on and then leak it all. I don't know anyone, and please in the comments, let me know in the comments if you feel like this applies to you, but like someone who is really anticipating this game, planning to get this game, now you know all the narrative plot points and you're not interested in it anymore. They don't feel like this is so far into the realm of a movie or anything that you're like, you can't still enjoy Last of Us 2 playing through it if you know what's going to happen.
Have any of
I'll
you guys
tell
ever
you-
done that though? Oh, sorry, gotcha.
I feel like I'm an example of that, where my first experience with Last of Us, I didn't own a PlayStation. There's this guy, it's like Frankie on PC in 1080p or something like that.
Yeah.
I discovered him and Jack Frags back when DayZ was happening, and he did a full playthrough of Last of Us, and I literally watched that entire playthrough of his, and then I bought a PlayStation and I played Last of Us through. And even having watched it, Last of Us is one of the only games, I think it's Last of Us and God of War are a few of the only games where I wasn't just mashing the skip button in every cutscene, because I really, most of the time, do not care about narrative because it just is not presented very well in my opinion. But Last of Us was one of those few games where I was like, I would actually set my controller down and just watch because I wanted to see it. And I feel like I'm going to avoid the spoilers as much as I can, but I mean, that was my experience with the first one, was that I learned all about the entire story before ever playing it. And then I had just as good of a time playing it. So I feel like maybe people who are afraid that it's going to ruin the game for them, it might not actually. Who knows? But
Yeah.
at least for me, it didn't ruin it knowing what was going to happen.
I was just saying, to get that information though, in what scenario would you be in where that it would just show up? You know what I mean? Like, where are you not just? Yeah, obviously, you have to.
mean,
like,
Chris
right
was
now
actually
just-
saying in chat that if you're streaming Last of Us 1, trolls are popping into chat and then posting major spoilers in the
Okay.
chat.
Well, there's
Okay,
lots
so
of news
I'm-
sites too that use their headlines in a way and stuff like that to just
Oh.
give you the meat of, like, you don't.
That's
You're
No,
like
that's a good point.
you're skimming headlines or whatever, and you get it just slammed with a spoiler
I mean,
for something.
YouTube is probably the biggest offender of that, where a brand new game comes out and they go crazy end. They say the ending of the game in the title
Yeah.
and show a thumbnail, and you go, "Fuck, yeah, god damn it."
Well, also,
So-
there's a scenario where, like, again, back to the YouTube thing, it's like, oh, you really liked that E3 demo that they showed, so you watched it on the official Sony PlayStation YouTube channel 8 months ago. Now, all of a sudden, your recommendations are the things that are getting the most traction, which are things where people are spoiling everything. So it's a thumbnail someone made that spoils the whole thing, even if the thumbnail is not an actual image or still from the spoiler. It's like plus the title. Now you've basically figured everything out.
God, YouTube
Yeah,
loves to
it's-
tell you what to watch.
It sucks. It really sucks because I think that, you know, everyone's voice should be heard. I'll say just in general, like, new media is also a place where it's like, you know, sometimes you're working a lot and you're not compensated, and there aren't really any unions to protect what you do or the people that do it. But when you do something retaliatory that isn't just coming out and sharing your story, I do feel like you are feeding trolls. I do
Yeah.
feel like the people that are going to hurt from this are the people that are most excited for the game. You know,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
feel like the people that are really excited for this and like couldn't wait for it to come out and were super bummed to hear it was going to be delayed.
It's not
like-
really going to affect sales at all. Or
You don't think
I
so?
don't think it's
I-
going to.
I mean, I feel like that's the
No.
intention, right? Like that the intention or the motivation for this person to leak everything is that they do affect sales, and that somehow hurts the company who's not properly taking care of their employees.
John's the perfect example, though. He watched an entire playthrough and then bought the game.
Yeah.
And then he put another PlayStation on top of that PlayStation to make a PlayStation house. Like, he's
I-
crazy.
Exactly.
This is pure speculation. Again, I have only ever in the history of my career met one person who worked at Naughty Dog, and it was at a party, and I had just played Last of Us, and they asked me what games I liked, and I told them that I had just played Last of Us and wasn't crazy about it, and then afterwards they introduced themselves as a Naughty Dog employee. But I've never seen that guy since. He was a friend of a friend, and believe me, I looked like the asshole in that situation. But I don't think that, like, this sounds like the kind of thing where someone working there had seen all these emails about keeping things private. And you know, when you're working at a company that prioritizes something way more than the fans would ever care about, like, keep this secret. Oh, we can't let it. Don't the tweet, the YouTube trailer, all these things have to launch exactly at 2:18 p.m. on this day. And it's like, the audience doesn't care. They're going to get to it when they get to it, kind of thing. This seems like an attack on that. Like, the culture of Naughty Dog was, people are going to be so into this story, man, once they see this kind of thing. But I don't know that that's hurting. I still don't think it's going to hurt anyone. It's just making the marketing department go like, ah, shit, oh well, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean,
I mean,
any price good price at this point for them?
It's true. I mean, in some ways, it seems like it may have forced a release date, right? Because the game was kind of delayed indefinitely, and now, once kind of this happened, Sony was like, "Fine, June."
oh, that's a good point. Is the game going to come out and it's going to be all bugged because they forced the release?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
everyone has big head mode, and they're in T poses the whole time. But
They
it's
look like the new
playable.
WrestleMania game. Did you guys not? I'm not going to get us off traffic too much, but you see the trailer for the new WWE game?
Wait, I
No.
thought they canceled it.
I thought they
They're not
canceled.
They're not doing 2K. They're doing a different one, and it looks like bobbleheads fighting.
On purpose?
It looks.
Really?
No, it doesn't look cool. It looks really, really bad, except for one point where John Cena gets thrown into the mouth of a crocodile.
Oh, that
Everyone
sounds
go
cool.
look up this trailer.
I stand by what I
Okay.
said.
I was gonna say, like, I know it affected people emotionally at the time, but was there really any real consequences to people learning spoilers of the Harry Potter stuff before it happened? Everyone
That one
still
guy
read the
in
books. It, like, apart from the night, everyone's standing outside and then someone drives by with a megaphone and Snape
That
kills
happened to me in
Dumbledore!
real life.
And then they all
Well, Omar was
mean-
the guy who screamed it.
I think I've told that story. Where, like, I was standing in line at a Barnes and Noble at midnight to get the book. The first person went in, came out, yelled the ending of the book to the rest of the line that was waiting
Wow,
there.
cool guy.
That happened
Did
to
that-
me in real life.
Did that destroy your read through of the book?
Yes, absolutely. No, I don't think it mattered at all in the long run.
Yeah, I mean that's
I mean,
like
it's
that's
about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that's ever been done in media has essentially been done. Like, in a lot of times it comes down to the execution, because, like, so someone can spoil something for you, and without the context, you go, I don't know what that means. So, like, I'm pretty sure I saw a handful of Infinity War or Endgame spoilers, and I was like, I guess I don't know. And then seeing it for the first time, I was blown away, because it's like, okay, I'm seeing it on screen, and I saw the build up to it, and I basically forgot everything I had read at that point. So
Yeah, I guess that's the kind of the difference about this situation, right? Because, like, if it were just a bunch of spoilers in text about how the game ended or whatever, that'd be one thing. But if it's the entirety of, like, it's every cutscene, so people can watch the context unfold before the game comes out, I feel like it's a slightly different thing. It's like,
Yeah.
like, to me, it's like, it's a super bummer that this person felt like this is what they needed to do in order to have their voice heard or whatever. But, like, on top of that, it's so much more of a bummer for everyone else who worked on that game, saying, like, man, I put so much blood and sweat into this thing, and they're probably equally not as compensated and in the shitty situation. And to have it, like, have that, like, culmination, that, like, that celebration of it coming out and everyone experience it at the same time, that whole zeitgeist around it and stuff, have that kind of ruined, is a big bummer.
Yeah,
for
it
people
kind
that
of
worked on the
screws
game.
over, all the animators and lighting
Yeah.
designers, everyone who worked on those cutscenes and everything. It's just
way less
screws
than
them over just as
way
much.
less than the big dad of the company that they were looking to screw over with this kind of retaliating thing. They were probably fucking over more of their coworkers in the same situation as them than anything else. And then you have dudes like the Jason Schreier stuff that happened at the same time that was super funny on the internet too. I don't know if you guys
What was
ever dug
that?
into. So that dude,
What was that?
so that dude, that's the guy from Kotaku who's not at Kotaku anymore.
Right.
He's like super known for leaking stuff. Like people leak things to him and he puts them up on the internet. That's what Kotaku was all about. He like came out against this whole thing saying like, it's real shitty for this person to have done this thing. It's really terrible for like you're screwing over your coworkers, you're doing all this stuff when like in practice that's what his job was at Kotaku, and he has lots of history of doing the exact same thing. And then people were calling him out on Twitter, Brian from Inside Gaming and Lawrence being one of the ones that I saw because I also follow them. And he was like blocking people, getting into like flaming wars on Twitter with people about all that stuff. This is really funny. It's like a funny side story to all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know,
I was reading a Wikipedia article about Upton Sinclair. Not to
Like
get
just
derailed.
now you were? Right
Well,
now
'cause
you were doing that?
I remembered something similar where there's a relation here where Upton Sinclair was trying to advance socialism or something, so he put out this book, The Jungle, but everyone started focusing on like the poor working conditions of the Industrial Revolution. Similar, this guy leaked this thing because he's like, I want everyone to pay attention to I didn't get, we're being overworked, and like, but they leaked the game, and so like the conversation probably didn't go the way he wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna say he got Sinclaired.
Nice. Nice.
Controlling the optics is hard to do.
It's impossible.
It's very hard to do. But it's really easy to do? Controlling your wireless bill. All right, it's time to confront some hard truths. Have you looked at your wireless bill lately? Because you're probably paying too much. It's 2020. Network coverage is better than ever, no matter your wireless provider. So why pay more for the same service? That's where Mint Mobile comes in. They can cut your bill down to $15 a month for the exact same premium coverage. I know what you're thinking. This is too good to be true, but these guys know what they're doing. This is the year that you and I can stop getting taken advantage of by big wireless companies and their even bigger bills and fees. It's important to remember that your old wireless bills pay for expensive retail stores and overhead and all kinds of stuff that you don't need to just make some phone calls or send some texts. So that's why Mint Mobile reimagined how you buy wireless, and it made it all online, passing those savings directly onto you. Mint Mobile makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month. Every plan comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus crazy fast 4G LTE. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get your plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/dude. That's mintmobile.com/DUDE. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month, support the show, and go to mintmobile.com/dude. So thank you, Mint Mobile, for your sponsorship. Don't pay more than you need to for your wireless service. Upton Sinclair, we were talking about.
Yeah. I think we were saying like how to sound pompous at even a 4-person group. If you just want to look like you act like your shit don't stink. Like that's a good That's it, right? Good icebreaker.
There Will Be Blood is based off of the Upton Sinclair novel Oil! Exclamation point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the exclamation point.
Is the L?
There's always great movies. Yeah. There's always great movies. Like I think earlier, like you said, The Prestige. It was another book called like Two Magicians Who Don't Like Each Other, and it's like we're gonna call it The Prestige.
A couple years ago, Matt learned. I had told Matt that I saw The Prestige in theater, and I wasn't really that into it because I saw every twist coming. And he's like, "Well, you really need to give it another try." And so he sat me down. He came over and he sat me down and we watched it. And I started falling asleep, so we didn't finish it. But I swear, the middle hour of that movie is just a montage of each of them showing up at each other's magic show and screwing each other over.
That's awesome.
It happens 6 times back and forth where suddenly Christian Bale appears with a mustache and what's his name? Who is it? Hugh
Jackman.
Hey,
Hugh Jackman
Jackman.
is on stage and he goes, like that's all it is for like an hour. It was ridiculous.
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
That's fun.
I love that whole movie except for the final twist because I'm like, wait, what? But
I was just like,
yeah,
why
it's
didn't you
fun.
go down to the bottom of the hill and see all the hats you had? Come on, waste
Yeah.
your hats.
Yeah, David
You
Bowie.
didn't see all the hats?
He's like, I am a great scientist, but I don't go down the hill.
What I don't see doesn't exist.
Yeah, I goes, well, nothing happened within this 4 feet. I'm going to bed. Piece of shit scientist. This is why Edison got everything. You got nothing.
Because he had to live in the jungle with Upton Sinclair.
It's not the actual jungle.
Oh, okay. Hey, John, we just saw a good shot of your room there.
Oh, yeah?
And I couldn't help but notice you have 2 fans.
Two
running.
fans right next to
I
each
do. I got 2 fans, and because of the frame rate, you can see them spinning.
Yeah, but look like they're going real slow.
other. But why are they in the
Well-
same spot? Wouldn't you want them like one on the other side of the room?
Well, the little fan basically doesn't do anything. I
Love it.
So
moved
it's just
the
there for
bigger
noise?
fan in from the living room. Yeah, it's just there to create more noise.
Yeah.
I
That
should
is
probably
one of-
just retire the little fan.
That is one of the fun things about, I mean, living in a lot of places, but in LA, if you've ever like searched, like gone to rent a place in LA, and if you get to the other side, let's say west of the 405, all of a sudden every landlord or property owner there, like when you go and you're like, no AC, they're like, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it. The ocean's there. The ocean, it's right there. Okay. You can see it if you drive 10 miles. You can see it right there.
Yeah, but
no questions asked.
My phone
You're-
says it's 110 inside. inside
yeah,
here.
no. But you're gonna get that cool ocean breeze, no
Okay.
questions asked.
I don't feel it now. Does it come later or like what? I don't understand. You want to
Oh,
deposit
listen.
now? What?
Nighttime. Once that sun goes down, it's gonna be cool, man. You open. He's like, you don't need. Listen, you don't need me to upgrade this unit with an air conditioner.
But I mean, when I leave my windows open, we're about 100 feet away from the 405. Black soot comes in like
Yeah.
constantly.
Well, you're also near
you're
the
gonna
airport,
it's gonna
so
it's
jet
gonna
fuel.
stick to you, and then all of a sudden that's gonna start taking in the heat. Like it would be a whole thing. $2,500 for me, the property owner, who's upcharging you rent by about 80% of cost, to put that in. You're gonna love the ocean breeze. Trust me. I love that.
That was a very LA thing. Like that's.
It is
yeah.
very. I assume it happens in other places too. It's just one of those things. And I remember Elise and I were like, "This. We've been in our place for a really long time now, and we have an air conditioning unit in one room, and then a bunch of fans in other rooms." But when we were looking, like we got kind of near the airport, I guess, which for those of you that aren't familiar with LA is close to the ocean ish. And there were a lot of places we were looking at that you would walk in like in spring or summer or even like fall, and you'd walk into the apartment and you'd be hit with this wave of heat. You'd be like, are there any air conditioning units in here? Central air or anything?
Well,
And they're
like,
like, no, you open a couple windows.
Yeah, yeah. Like well, when it was back in the 40s when it was built, it was colder
Yeah.
then. So you understand. You're wrong. You're like, what?
That happened to me and Connor when we were looking for apartments. We went down to this place that was literally like the street ended in a cul-de-sac where LAX was on the other side of that cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And we're driving in and we're parking, get out of our car, and you just hear like planes
Oh,
coming in. It's
yeah.
like, man, it's loud. And then we get inside and it's like a plane's coming over and it's blasting, and the guy closes the door. And it gets pretty quiet, and it's like, oh, okay. And we're like, so is there AC? And he's like, nah, just open a window. And I was like, okay. And so I open the window, and you crack it, and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's another thing too. If you ever look at a place, I know we're doing the LA regional stuff, but if you go to a place that's like within a flight path or whatever, it's like the person who is there is like, oh man, the plane's pretty loud, and they're like, listen, once you're here day, 2 days, you're not even gonna hear. And then like they twitch like someone like went to hit them or whatever. Like you see their eye has like a twinge in it or whatever, and they're ripping their hair out or whatever.
You'll
like
get used to.
You won't even notice it.
Yeah, you'll get used to 30 minutes of sleep at a time. It's the
Yeah.
greatest.
Listen, me personally, I feel more rested when I wake up screaming five or 6 times a night. I love it. It feels great. Yeah, so it's starting to get hot in LA.
Oh,
It is
man,
indicated by John's. Last week was pretty hot. What do you guys? We were doing work from home. So it used to be the kind of thing where, oh well, who cares? You're just gonna escape to the office.
Yeah.
And
The office has AC.
Big Daddy RT is gonna foot the bill. Except in our building, we always had the issue where it would either be blasting air down onto John Holland only, and then the rest of us would be at 105 degrees, or the rest of us would be at 105 degrees, and John Holland would somehow be in like this, like the center of the earth. But we could never get the building to match. But still, there were places you could go to escape.
Yeah, but the thing in the studio is that there's no insulation up above, so you'd have to blast the AC where everyone is freezing in the middle of summer, but you turn it off, and like 7 minutes later, like the melt is
it's
the paint is
oven
melting
in there.
off the walls. Yeah,
All the photos
Well,
are falling off.
The
What do you
AC
guys
duct
have
was-
planned for this?
It's like MC Escher. Man, yeah, because you can't really go. Like the age old thing was like, it's a hot day, go see a double feature, go see a couple movies,
Yeah.
just stay at the movie theaters for a little bit. I mean, I don't think you can sneak into movies anymore like you used to anyway. But it's stupid assigned seating, it ruin everything. But yeah,
Man, that's a good take on that. I didn't realize that fucks up people theater hopping is assigned seating.
Oh
yeah.
That's
Man,
the real
yeah.
motivator there.
Yeah,
I was thinking
but-
about the other day, like all these people at home using their ACs and stuff. Like, yeah, my bill is going to be shitty this summer. It's going to be the worst because I'm going to have the AC
yeah.
going all the time. But also, there are going to be so many people around me doing the same thing. I think the power is going to go out in my apartment like daily.
You were saying brownouts and stuff, right?
yeah, like brownouts are going to happen in LA all the time.
That's my
Yeah.
fear. Yeah, because it's like combine it with everyone. I would just, I guess, hope all businesses where people are not right now are turning off their air conditioners. Because I imagine they're like, because you drive by buildings and you're like, they should be empty and they all have the lights on, like because it's just on an automatic switch. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
it's on
and
a
like,
timer or something.
Yeah, so you're like, are they still running heat and air? Maybe, unless it's if it's a more modern building. But like some of them, I'm sure there's like a security guard who's like, oh, crank it up. Just like,
Yeah.
he's like, you don't go to the third floor. He's like, whatever, it needs to stay cold. I don't know.
Well, what are
yeah.
you guys planning to do at home? John, you've got your 2 fans. One does nothing.
I've got my windows open and my fan going, and like I said, it's like I'm in the inside of a like turbine or something, but it's stayed relatively cool. Like previously, when we've been shooting, I've been closing the windows and blinds and stuff so that I can get the nice lighting. But then, like by the end of the recording, I'm like dripping and shaking.
Yep.
So I've just kind of decided that I have this light in front of me, and it's on full blast now, so that it kind of balances out the like. I guess it's still a little washed out behind me, but it's much less drastic than it was previously. I think this is basically going to be my setup moving forward. Is just so many fans going that it can't get hot because the air never stays in one place. I got a Vornado inside of here. That's the. I don't know if you can see it. It says Vornado on the front of my face.
I've got the
Vornado
baby brother
technology.
of it, or the big brother of it over there on the floor. Vornado.
Oh, nice.
Man.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, we have also the stupid requirement. It's not just like we're on summer break and we just need to do whatever. Like we need to record, and so there's a certain thing that happens when you blast air or turn on an air conditioner, which is literally inches away.
Yeah,
from
it's
me
right
here.
above your head over there. Like I'm running the AC now, and I've got this fan going just because otherwise, like it would be miserable in here.
I mean, you sound fine.
But the-
Yeah, well,
I'm
good
running
timing
that-
on that.
Yeah, I'm running that NVIDIA put out that RTX Voice is like an app that it does like AI learning of how to clean up your audio, and it's doing it in real time, and it's using I have an RTX card in my computer, and not everybody has that luxury, but it seems to work pretty fucking good, like crazy good. at
It
just
was
cleaning
so
up
funny.
the noise.
Yeah, the video I sent you guys when I first learned about it, it was a guy like sitting there. He has 2 fans right next to him, and then a hammer with like a tile, and he's banging it, and you can't hear anything. He goes, This is RTX technology. And he's banging a hammer and like shaking things, and it was really funny. I mean, it's insane how good it is.
There's another video. I think it's like a Linus Tech Tips offshoot channel, but the Short Circuit channel. And they were the guy was pretty like a little apprehensive about it, a little like suspect. Like I don't know if this could be really good. And like they do some crazy stuff where it's like they actually are still getting voice out of this thing. It's pretty intense, like what it can capture. So it's like it kind of came out at a really good time where we're all
straight up.
We're in our offices where computers are blasting heat. And then so you need to turn on fans and air conditioners, and you're not going to ruin the audio. So pretty good timing.
Yeah. Who's the guy that you linked, James? It was like Nerdkilles or something like that.
That's what John's talking about.
Okay, yeah, because that dude had a vacuum, a giant fan like the one John and I have. He had a leaf blower, and he was hitting the table with a hammer, and all you could hear was him talking. It sounded a little bit compressed, but other than that, all you could hear was him talking. That was fucking bananas. It's crazy.
The funniest part is right before we started recording was your clap syncs, and our TD's like, Omar, I didn't get a clap.
Like, that's noise. That's my robot's like, that's not sweet Omar talking. I learned his sweet voice. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. You may notice some gameplays over the next couple months of just sweat gathering, beads of sweat, more than usual for John.
I'm just a shiny person. Every video I'm in, people are like, whoa, John's sweating. No, I just have a shiny ass forehead. That's just my resting state. And I sweat a lot.
We should do something where we play a really intense game with all the air and stuff off, and then at the end see whose back of their shirt got sweaty.
We should
Even
also
with all
be
my shit
cooking-
on, the back of my shirt is all sweaty.
we're also trying to pound as much soup as possible.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing great.
Just they call it like the soup and coffee stream.
Yeah, soup dudes.
I don't know if you wanted to stick on like summer cooldown plants, but I did think of another cool AI technology that I saw recently.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I just wanted to mention real quick that even if we look like garbage, our hair's going to look great because we're going to be using our Old Spice Pomade. This episode of Dude Soup is sponsored by Old Spice Pomade. Old Spice Putty, an Old Spice styling gel. Your hair says a lot about you, and with Old Spice Pomade, you can make it say the right thing. Okay, so I have been an Old Spice fan for about as long as I can remember. Everything from their body washes to their deodorants to their hair gels. I've loved using Old Spice because it has this masculine tinge to it, which doesn't seem aggressive. I'm not talking about energy drink aggressive. I'm talking about just the classic feeling like a sense of confident masculinity. And that's really what I appreciate. I actually have some Old Spice pomade right here, and I've been using it in my hair. My hair, I feel like, has kind of a life of its own most days. If it gets up on the wrong side of the bed, it feels like there's almost nothing I can do about it. But I will say that using this pomade has been a lifesaver. I'm not sure how many people get to see it, mostly just my wife. I feel like my hair is way easier to control. And the best part about it is that it still feels very natural. It's a natural hold. I hate when you use gels or pomades or hair creams that feel like they stick into your scalp or turn your hair into this gelatinous dome. This isn't the case with this Old Spice pomade. Not even close. It feels like it goes on real easy, and then it's just a matter of now your hair has this strength and this kind of fullness to do what you want to do with it and make it look the way you want to look. It's exactly the kind of stuff that I want to be using because I don't like when my hair looks artificial or looks fake. I want it to look natural, but I also don't want to step outside and have a strong gust of wind completely flop everything one way or the other. So Old Spice pomade with medium hold gives my hair a clean cut matte finish. And that's what I really, really appreciate it. Say I'm late for something Not sure what that is going to be right now. Maybe a Zoom call, but I want to look good on my Zoom call. It takes me 2 seconds to take a little bit of the pomade, rub it in my hands, throw it through my hair, and then it feels like it's good to go. I don't need a stylist when I have Old Spice pomade.
Hair's looking good. Are you about to go on a Zoom call?
I am. Thank you for asking. Because I'm using my Old Spice pomade. No, I genuinely really love this product. I love the whole brand, to be honest with you. But the things that I like about the brand are encapsulated perfectly in this Old Spice pomade. And I think you guys should definitely check it out. Just because you may be working from home doesn't mean that you should let your looks slide. Plus, if you can't visit a barber shop to go get your hair cut, the only way you can manage what's on your head is with a little bit of light assistance from Old Spice pomade. So I highly recommend you checking it out. Please check out Old Spice hair pomade because great hair always wins. So thank you, Old Spice, for your sponsorship. John, tell me about this AI that I almost certainly didn't see.
You might have seen it. I mean, it's not even this big thing, but I thought it was kind of interesting. A couple of years ago, New York Times released or leaked those UFO videos, from the U.S. Navy. That I guess just this past week, a couple of days ago, the U.S. Navy officially declassified. But one of them was really interesting because it's from a drone. And they have, this crazy high quality camera, but you see this little dot going by, and then there's this square that's blinking and shrinking down on it, but the dot's moving so fast that it keeps leaving the frame. And then finally, they get to a point where it detects it. And then immediately, once that square gets small enough, the camera starts tracking that dot across the sky, perfectly. And and everyone starts cheering on the comms because they were basically trying to track this thing that's moving so fast. There was no way that they could follow it, but they finally got it to track. And I thought that was really interesting because it's basically a live motion tracking AI technology or whatever, but it's tracking this thing that was moving at an astronomical speed that they shouldn't have been able to track it, but it was so good that they did. It was really interesting.
How is this going to keep you cold?
No, it's AI. It's in relation to the RTX voice.
It keeps the fan always pointed at John, no matter where he's going. The fan's always pointed at John.
I'd love that.
Like a drone.
But I thought it was really interesting.
I always think artificial learning stuff is so cool.
I feel like that's part of the story of Westworld and stuff that's happening right now too, right? There's all that determinism and AI learning and plotting out basically anticipating the future because they learned the AI's learned enough about the pattern of what's happening that they can determine where something's going to be as opposed to trying to follow it there. They're just going to lead it there.
Yeah.
Well,
also, I mean, never mind. It's spoilers for the show. There's a similar concept in another show that's recently come out, but it's actually kind of a spoiler for it. That is what they're doing.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was thinking about that yesterday. How those two stories interweave in such an interesting way right now.
Yeah, I think I know what you guys are talking
Hulu
about.
show.
It with oh shit, what was it? Never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's fine. We're running out of time anyway. So we got to start wrapping things up. So I guess that means I got to end the podcast. But I'm not going to do it.
Why
unless
not?
I do the most popular segment. We got the numbers, okay? And the most popular segment in all podcasting right now is Mount Up for Morbius. And it's time for Mount Up for Morbius. Nick, do we have the Mount Up for Morbius thing that we can roll in? All right, great. Great. So
do it in post. Do it in post.
Do real quick, just for we'll put it in post. But can you go full on me for everyone who's watching on RTTV? All right. So let me see. It's the first one is. No, I'll do it. He's like that, and then it's him, reaching for the bats coming at him like that, and then it's him jumping out of the glass like that, and then at one point hold on, I got it. It crossfades. It crossfades, and then it just shows me because I'm watching it because there's that transparency in there. And it comes back, and then it goes.
Wow.
Wow. It's
And
like
then it
a
says mount up
legit-
for Morbius, but then it has one last sting where it has Michael Keaton like with his eyes half closed.
Perfect.
Yes. So it is the time. We have only a few short minutes to do this, and again, I would like to add the caveat that I had no clue when I started this that it was going to extend for an extra year. In fact, I picked the movie because it was right around the corner, and we would be almost done by now. So I'm having to improvise a little bit. I'm changing the course structure, the syllabus ever slightly. So today we are going to be doing vampire trivia.
Oh, nice.
Can you guys see this? Are you guys able to see this?
I can
I
see
can
it, but
see
can't
little
read it.
squares.
Yeah. I
Oh,
can't
there we
read
go.
it.
Okay.
There we go. We
you
can do that.
now.
That's fine. All right. So first question of vampire trivia. What type of vampire has only one tooth? The
Can
options
you
are the
read
Draugr,
the options?
yes. The Draugr, the Dampier, the Beetle, or the Goksha. The only one I've ever heard before is Dampier.
The only one I've ever heard is Draugr.
Yeah.
What's the Draugr?
Yeah, what's Draugr? Oh, wait. Oh, from
It's from a
Skyrim.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I
it have
remember
one
that.
tooth?
No, it's like
I
a
don't know.
zombie. What's the second one? Cream pie?
Yeah. What's the second one again?
That says Dampier.
Oh,
Dampier.
okay.
I'm
Who's
going to
the
say
number
it's
two?
the one that says bite. Beetle.
Beetle?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, that's wrong.
Ah, damn it.
Was it number two?
Which one is it?
No, it wasn't
no.
number two either.
It's the-
Damn it.
it's the
No,
last one.
it wasn't
That's
the
last
dog.
one.
Oh.
Hey, it's the Goksha.
Goksha.
There we go. We
What
learned
does it say
that now.
is the answer?
Asturian chronicles tell of the Goksha, an ancient vampire who enters homes at night through locks or door slits and uses her only tooth to suck the blood of her victims.
Does that mean
Okay.
Austrian? Or
No, that's
Asturian?
Asturian.
Oh, okay.
All right. According to Romanian legend, how could a child be born a vampire? If a vampire danced with a pregnant woman, if a vampire stared at a pregnant woman, if a vampire slept with a pregnant woman, if a vampire fed on a pregnant woman.
I mean,
Stared.
This is the Blade. This is technically
yeah, with
Blade.
Blade,
Right.
it's pregnant bit for fed on.
Does
Logically, being fed on makes sense, but if it is legend from long ago, I'd say danced with. That's my answer.
have you
trying
ever
to-
danced with a vampire?
Well, they're trying to stop the kids from dancing with one another. Like,
Yeah.
You know, that the swing music was taking over Europe, and they're like, no, you are a vampire. I don't. God, yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go
guess
with number
dance.
two.
I'm gonna go dance. Oh,
Danced?
stared?
All about
We can only
yeah.
pick
They
one.
do
We
they
have to
glamour. They glamour them
consensus.
right with staring. Got to glamour that baby, that fetus.
Ooh. But is that going to change the baby? I
Yes.
feel like you just use that.
Eyes are directly
that-
connected to the fetus.
I mean, that's so easy,
Exactly.
though. You're in no control
It's right.
of that.
He's
That's
right.
Stupid.
Wow,
The
Omar.
child could be marked in its mother's
Oh, I mark
we got-
you.
womb. We
I know my
There's
vampires.
3 pages of this. I think we're only going to do one. All right. What condition was once commonly mistaken for vampirism? Progeria, anemia, fibromyalgia, or porphyria?
It's anemia.
Progeria.
Yeah, progeria.
Because you become old?
Yeah, because they don't age.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
The second one, anemia.
Anemia.
And anemia.
It
Yeah.
is- that
Ooh,
is-
it's not
what?
anemia.
What does I
Sorry.
read?
It's fibromyalgia. No.
Is it
No, it's porphyria.
What's
When a person-
porphyria?
I'll tell
Oh.
you, when a person has porphyria, cells fail to change body chemicals called porphyrins, and porphyrin precursors into hem, the substance that gives blood its red color.
Oh, so you'd look really pale.
I guess you look pale, and you bleed different colors.
I only know that it's
Oh.
pronounced heme because of all the impossible burger videos I've watched where they're like, you know, this thing has heme, which looks like blood. I'm like, interesting. I'm smart now.
It tastes like blood.
What type of branches laid across a vampire's grave prevent it from rising at night? Aspen, ash, oak, hawthorn.
Jesus.
Aspen.
Hawthorne.
I have no idea. Hawthorne. Ash.
Aspen.
Damn
Oh.
Oh, because that's what Christ's cross was made of.
Wow, really?
Did you? I don't know. I guess according to usefultrivia.com.
According to Vampire Trivia.
Lore. Yeah.
All right. Which item is thought to ward off vampires? Mustard seeds, garlic, wild rose.
Garlic. We know that.
Garlic for sure, but it's
I
also
guess
all of
garlic.
these. All of these
Oh.
is an option.
Well, I read Bram Stoker's Dracula about a year and a half ago, and it did
Okay.
not answer this question. So,
Ooh, all of them.
wow.
Okay.
And hawthorn
Mustard
plant.
seed and wild rose.
Pretty much anything sharp or shiny. They don't like sponges. I don't know.
All right. Keep moving. Which vampiric creature can remove her eyes? The
Xanthippe.
Xanthippe, the Hell, the Lamia, or the Calypso?
I like Xanthippe.
Lamia
Calypso's
fed
a
on
witch.
children.
She's a witch.
Yeah, Lamia is like a Roman god or something.
Yeah, which one of these is in Smite?
Yeah. They
how I know these things.
added Universal movie monsters to their pantheon.
I don't know. I gotta go with the first one.
Lamia is Greek,
Lamia.
a Greek god. What? It's Lamia?
Mythology. Yeah. It was
She was
woman
a
who became
vampire?
A child-eating monster after her children were murdered by Hera.
Wow.
Oh, well, there's
That's
your
not a vampire.
There's your Greek god stuff right there, Hera and Zeus.
Yeah. I have a hard drive that says Lamia on it.
full
interesting.
full of Lamian porn.
Right here.
All right.
Literally right.
We got a couple left. What year did the word vampire first appear in the English language? 1734, 1527, 1871, or 1652? We're just gonna.
Yep, 16.
Wow, you knew it.
1734.
It's. I feel like every time we've gotten it wrong, it's always been the very last answer that is right.
Yeah.
So we've been wrong as you can be.
That's how we want to be. Which of the following was once considered an effective vampire slaying ritual? A lemon in the corpse's mouth.
It's the only
All
right
of
answer.
these. Hawthorn in the corpse's book. We've already seen Hawthorn is effective. Boiling water over the grave.
In the
All
corpse's
of these.
book? What is this?
Sorry, sock.
Sock.
Corpse's sock.
Okay.
All of the above.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Gypsies.
Anytime there's all of the above, it's gonna be all of the above.
All right.
Oh, here we go,
John.
John.
You get this one. Yeah.
In Bram Stoker's novel, which of the following was not found in Dracula's castle? Roast chicken, servants, female vampires, a library. I know female
Servants.
vampires were there because they had sex with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Servants.
Library, yes, because that's where what's his face worked.
It's servants.
Ding, ding, ding. Harker.
It was
Dying on roast
empty.
chicken.
That was the whole thing. Was that he realized Dracula was running around doing everything and pretending that he had servants that you just never saw.
What a loser.
Classic.
Yeah.
He's the only living soul, except for those 3 vampire women who banged him all the time.
Why is that even
All
a
right.
thing that they would talk about? Why is that a plot point of that story?
What?
That he would run around and do all the work.
Because he was making it seem like the house was alive and that, like, you know, he had servants, that he wasn't just living alone in this giant mansion trapping him there.
Deception.
Deception.
Who was the first real person described as a vampire in historical records?
What?
Peter Plagojawicz, Sava Savinovich, Nellie Vaughn, or Jared Leto?
Jared Leto. I was going to
There
say
were two.
Mila Jovovich.
Mila wait. I think it's probably like a serial killer, right?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
gonna say
What was the
Nellie
name
Vaughn.
of Jack the Ripper? Oh, it was
I'm going to say
Jack.
Nellie Vaughn. That's going to be my guess.
All right.
Okay.
Oh!
Nope. Not even close.
What about number
Peter
2?
Serafinowicz.
I guess we'll never know.
Nope.
Who's picking?
June
There's-
Gray. June Grando.
It's
Jury Grando. Jury
Yeah.
Grando, who sounds like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character. It was.
It's a peasant.
He was a peasant from Istria, Croatia, who died in 1656. He allegedly terrorized villagers in the area for 16 years after his death. Allegedly.
Oh. Oh, is that? I think that may be what the guy from The Strain is based off of, maybe, or inspired by.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. Well, we still have 2 more pages, which thank God for me. I'm going to bookmark this. We're going to be revisiting this game in a couple
Once a
weeks'
month.
time.
That's all we have to do. It's once a month sometimes.
Hey, sometimes people got to take a break. So thank you guys for joining me for another Mount Up for Morbius. Do we have the outro?
Cool.
Oh, it actually works there because it doesn't fade back to you.
That was
Perfect. Perfect. Great. Well, thank you guys for joining me for this episode of Dude Soup. I know it's kind of a laid back one, but there's not a ton going on, and I feel like some of these are fun to do. Chat, get off topic. Sure. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to our first members and people who signed up for roosterteeth.com, joining us in chat and stuff. Maybe we should figure out a reoccurring segment we can do. Maybe an interactive Mount Up for Morbius where we can use chat and get them involved. We've never seen so many first signups in one day, they'll say. No, thank you to everyone watching live. Real quick shout outs to a couple things that we mentioned earlier. Last Laugh. You can watch Funhaus Presents Last Laugh. Episode 2 is on roosterteeth.com right now for first members. Episode 1 is free to watch for anyone on YouTube or roosterteeth.com. Episode 3 comes next Monday, so please check it out. 6 episodes, going to be a lot of fun. We have new episodes of No Idea coming. No Idea, a little show where we build IKEA furniture under duress. That's the most concise way that I figured out how to summarize the show.
That's a pretty good summary, actually. Well done.
Yeah. And so we have more episodes coming, but a new episode is coming this week.
On the 1st.
And then on May 1st. And Animal Crossing Island Tour Part 2. So we mentioned earlier that we did an Animal Crossing Island Tour. We did a second part because we want to show off more islands. So check that one out. We're gonna see everyone's island. John's island is really fun. I think the presentation is what made it so enjoyable. People took it seriously.
Yeah. Speaking of May 1st, what else is happening on May 1st? That's right. It's a live stream. If you look at the schedule, it's called This Is Your Show Now. Mm-hmm. Basically, basic concept is the host, who this week is going to be James Willems, is going to have to lead a talk show, late night style talk show, without any knowledge. All he's going to have is headphones and then a little Google Doc that we can type into. And he'll be sending his webcam over. And I have it set up where we're going to do the whole studio experience. But he will be completely in the dark and have to lead the show on his own.
I'm very excited for the opportunity to do this. I'm very excited to see what it becomes. But I'm also not afraid at all because I feel like every talk show I've ever hosted has been in the dark.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, but no, definitely check that out. That's going to be 6 p.m. Pacific time this Friday, May 1st on RTTV. Should be a lot of fun. Is there going to be chat interactivity? Do you know if chat's going to be able to have fun, play along?
Yeah.
Like that?
There will be, yes.
So yeah, come join us in chat and have a great time. Anything else you guys thinking of? What do we got? I mean, there's a ton of videos coming down the pipe, but
Still just cranking stuff out. Some different type. I know, James, you and I recorded kind of a different video. Can't really talk about it yet, but that I'm looking forward to that one. Something. Yeah, we normally don't play, but I had a good time. So.
Yeah.
There's some stuff of that. We kind of talked about it, but that Predator game's out, and a lot of us are in it.
Oh yeah. Predator's out. We have a Predator gameplay that's going to be going up this Friday as well. And yeah, I played it a lot this weekend. I got to like level 48 or something, or level 50 or something.
Did you play
It's
support?
legit a fun game.
The best one. That's
fun.
my voice. I'm support. I think.
So I've been hearing a lot of Elise and Bruce and myself, not so much Adam.
Interesting.
I've noticed. Because Bruce is a bad guy. Bruce is a bad guy soldier. So if you sneak up behind a guy and you shoot him in the spine, you'll hear Bruce go, "Oh!" or whatever.
Yeah.
My spine.
Yeah, Elise is the voice of the female soldier.
One of
So
them.
I was playing this weekend, and I got knocked. Predator knocked me down, and then she was like, "Get up, you piece of garbage," or whatever. I was like, "Okay." Like,
Yeah. She's like,
yelling at
James
me to
hits
get
me
up.
when no one's looking sometimes. Like, what? Huh?
Why'd that get through?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Adam's voice is masked really well, so it's kind of hard to hear
No.
Adam out there. But
I'm
you
there.
sound like this.
Oh,
You're so
yeah.
gravelly.
I remember thinking I sounded more gravelly, and then the game came out. I'm like, damn it, I hate my voice.
That's how I think that's how everyone feels. That's how everyone feels because like we played with Sark. We're gonna wrap this up. We're wrapping it up. Don't worry. We played with Sark Predator, and he was like, "Man, it's so distracting hearing my voice. I sound like such a wimp." And I was playing with randos, completely random people this weekend that were talking about how much they liked the voice of the commander who was like dishing out assignments and how tough he sounded. And so it was like fun. You're in your own head, and when you hear your voice, you add all these expectations to it.
What nice
But
things do they say about my character, James?
I don't hear you. I've heard you one time.
Okay,
So
I see.
I think whatever RNG causes your character's voice to be rolled is maybe a little bit lower than
You
some
just
others.
pick support. You just pick the support class. I think that's all you got to do. It's not tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
not happening,
RNG
so-
is how many people don't like playing support, which is universal across all games.
Yeah. People want to play assault like me,
Oh, wait,
James
no.
Woodham.
Yeah, they go,
Or no,
I have
no.
to help people. Fuck that.
Maybe it's not support. It's the third one. I forget what it is, like the ranger or something.
Scout.
Maybe
Oh,
scout.
class?
Yeah, I think it might be scout.
Oh, okay. Well, either
But
way.
why don't they want to play that one?
No one's going to play
James?
that class. Don't worry about it.
Damn
Anyway,
it.
we're out of time. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you to First members. Thank you to RTTV. Thank you to our sponsors, Stitch Fix, Mint Mobile, and Old Spice. And we will see you. Thank you to all landlords out there who don't want to install central air or air conditioning units into your stuff because you
Real
live to the
heroes.
west of the 405. Thank you guys so much for everything, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.